Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to the sports segment of the weekend show. I am Ayo Adams, and I'll be walking you through the happenings in the world of sports. Let's start. Today is Democracy Day, and happy democracy to all Nigerians. But then we want to go back. We want to go back into history books to talk about what really went down. And first of all, Nigeria's Democracy Day is a public holiday to commemorate the restoration of democracy in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where a significant figure, the late Chief Moshood Abiola GCFR, won the hearts of many Nigerians across the nation. Praises sang post-mortem isn't just about the unification of the nation, but also about its development in sports. Abiola's contribution to sports was unmatched. He carried a genuine love and desire for sports development in his heart. The pure-hearted gesture towards the development earned him multiple recognition across Africa and his home country. In 1980, the late Chief MKO Abiola received an award of the Pillar of Sports in Africa from African Sports Journalists Union, and he was also the first recipient. The Confederation of African Football in 1992 in Dakar, Senegal, honored him with African Football Hall of Fame. He also ran 3 football clubs, Concord FC, Concord FC in Lagos, ITT Football Club in Lagos, and also the popular one, Abiola Babes in Abeokuta. These days, it's rare to find those who are deeply devoted and committed to the development of sports like he had. It wasn't just about match competition and bonuses, which he gave independently, but also scholarship initiatives to sportsmen and women around Nigeria. But now, let's come back to the present. The Nigerian sport has undoubtedly grown, but that growth remains stunted. We've produced remarkably and renowned athletes across the world from all levels of competition and sports, but there are still lots of significant worries that plagues the sector, with incompetence and internal disputes between sporting bodies. Most recent is the AFN and an opposing faction in its leadership. Repeatedly, there have been cases of athletes on paid wages and continuous struggle for power in a position where no obvious improvement has been made. The Ministry of Youth and Sport, headed by Mr. Sunday Dare, should be applauded for his recent stability and initiatives for youths and development among athletes. Before his arrival in the ministry, the sector had multiple cases of corruption and scandals on its plate, which has some of the sports blacklisted from international federations. The domestic league, which is our main league, the MPFL, has not had a champion in 2 seasons. Athletes have missed out in the World Relay in Poland earlier this year. The National Basketball League in Nigeria is not functioning in the country, but also the Tigress and the Tigers are duly representing on the international level. As a Nigerian and sport lover with other Nigerians who share the same opinion as I do, sports in Nigeria could be way better than it is right now if only those at the helm of leadership put aside their personal vendetta, agenda, and greed and do their primary duty, which is to create initiatives to sports in the country, seek sponsorship and partnerships for sports lacking behind, and also throw support behind the ones which have developed but are gradually falling apart. As most Nigerians talk about, sports in Nigeria has not been developing so much, and Nigerians are really, really concerned about that. Well, today is Democracy Day, and we're hoping that moving forward, sports in Nigeria will get a better traction and will get a better initiative, and people at the helm of leadership will put aside their personal agenda and vendetta and help grow the sports in the nation. Well, moving on, we move straight into our Falcons, who are on international series. They are on an invitational tournament in Houston, Texas, where they played Jamaica and they lost 1-0. They're also going to be playing the USA women, and they're also going to play Portugal. These invitational games are preparations for the upcoming Women Cup of Nations next year. So, moving on, we move straight into Euro, as the European Championship has kicked off yesterday with Italy hosting Turkey, and Italy brutally battered Turkey. Well, to discuss this, I have on Zoom Dasuki Usman, who's going to help us walk through the Euro 2020 update. Good morning, Dasuki. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me.
All right.
First of all, happy independence to Nigeria. Happy Democracy Day, rather, to Nigerians.
All right, good. I'm sure they...
as all expected, has kicked off, and it's really looking good.
Yeah, I'm sure they can all hear you. So let's get straight into it. Italy brutally battered Turkey yesterday. How do you feel about the game? Everyone, even me, we talked about Italy being the dark horses of the tournament. But yesterday, queuing up to the tournament, they've been playing repeatedly well, but yesterday it showed like as if they were falling apart, like as if something was not going well. What went wrong with Turkey yesterday?
I think it was the compact of the Italian side. Tactically, they were very disciplined. We saw a very disciplined and compact Italian side with, a very experienced manager in Roberto Mancini. So you wouldn't really blame Turkey side, even though they would have done better, obviously. But I mean, they were amazing. They played fantastic football. Their fullbacks, Florenzi, Spinazzola, they were pushing forward. The Turkey side couldn't handle those boys.
All right then. Well, Italy won the game yesterday 3-0, and that gives them 3 points in Group A. Now moving on to Group B, we have Russia playing Belgium in Group B. And the last time this happened, Belgium beat Russia 4-1 with the Hazard brothers scoring 3 goals, and Romelu Lukaku puts in the 4th one in the bag. Now, Desiki, we have Russia playing Belgium later today. How do you feel about this game? Do you think it's a game that Eden Hazard will come back and show his style? Is talent, and Kevin De Bruyne might also feature in today's game. And let's not forget the best player in the Serie A, Romelu Lukaku, will be at the helm of attack. How do you see the game going today?
Yes, Eden Hazard being in a different atmosphere from the Real Madrid, so we might help boost his confidence because he's had it really tough in Real Madrid. So we might see a different Eden Hazard in Belgium, and even without Eden Hazard, they have loads of talents in Belgium that can get them through the game. And I see Belgium getting a comfortable win against Russia.
All right, then. Still in Group B, the other game happening there, we have Denmark playing Finland. I'm moving to Group D. We are actually listing out some of the top games, some of the tough games this weekend. And in Group D, we have the most populous one that everyone has been talking about, one of the teams that's had the most international traction, has had the most banter around them, is England. They are going to be playing Croatia today. And we'll see starman Harry Kane, who won the highest goal scorer in the Premier League and also the top assist in the Premier League, with former world best player Luka Modric also at the helm of the leadership in Croatia. How do you think this game would go? England has a lot of players to line up with. What do you think will end this game today? Do you think it's going to end like the last one where England beat them 2-1? Or do you think that Croatia is going to shock England today?
I think England will, win the game. It's not going to be easy for England at all. But with the squad they have, we've seen the likes of them, Gerrard, Lampard, Ferdinand, where the England squad had a bit of selective, different sections. But this England squad, they are together. They are like a family. They want to win. Young, talented players. And yes, Russia knocked them out of the World Cup in 2018 in semi-finals. I'm sorry, Croatia. But then this time around, I think England, they are full of confidence. The team, the squad, everyone, I think it will be a comfortable victory for England.
All right, then I'm moving to Group E. We have the two-time champions, Spain, who are back in the Euros, but then they are not back with their star players. They are back with young players. This is actually the first time that Spain is not having 80% of their squad as Barcelona and Madrid players. In fact, there is no Real Madrid player included in the Spanish squad, especially Sergio Ramos. How do you react to Sergio Ramos' absentia from the Spain squad, and would he affect them against the attacking Swedish team today?
It might affect them a little bit because I think every team needs that, leadership quality in their side, someone to look up to, someone who was won it all like Sergio Ramos. However, they are professionals. They should be able to handle it. Pau Torres, he was fantastic with Villarreal. Azpilicueta, they just won the Champions League with Chelsea. So they have Aymeric Laporte in Man City. They have quality players that should be able to, take feeling Sergio Ramos. It will be difficult. But and the fact that they don't have the pressure of being the favorite, so that will make Spain more comfortable and play the tiki-taka football that we usually see in Spain.
All right, then. And also in Group E, we have Poland facing Slovakia. We'll see Robert Lewandowski taking on Poland, playing for Poland and going against Slovakia. Moving on to Group F, we have the game that people have been waiting for, the group of death, as they call it, where we have heavyweights Germany, France, and Portugal, with Hungary in the group. And today we have Germany facing France, and the last time this game happened, France beat Germany 2-1. How do you see this game going up to? 80% of the world, probably the footballing fans, believe that France would take home this European trophy. Do you see it that way? And do you know that their first obstacle now is Germany? Do you see them getting past Germany? And can Germany beat France with Timo Werner at top 9?
Yes, the fact that the game is played in Germany gives Germany the home advantage. And they are very solid, compact side. Germany, you cannot override them or think, okay, France are the favorite. They are a very, very good side when it comes to international football. And also, yeah, Timo Werner, he's not scoring the goals, but his work rate is very important in teams. Chelsea, some Chelsea fans were like, oh, we'll have to get rid of Werner, but he cannot sit out because his work rate is always there. He's assisting the team. So it will be very difficult for France. And, normally the first games of competitions are always very tight. So we're not going to see, too many goals. It's going to be like 1-1 or 2-1. So either way, it's a 50-50 game.
All right, then. Also in Group F, we have Portugal taking on Hungary as Cristiano Ronaldo will be at the helm of attack, the captain. And the last time they met was in 2017 in the World Cup qualification, where Portugal beat Hungary 4-1. And moving on to another continental championship, which is the Copa America for the South American teams. It's going to kick off tomorrow in Brazil. And the Brazil players have come out to say that they will play the Copa America because any opportunity to play in the green and yellow stripes is one that they will duly honor. But they did not leave out the fact that their president and the president of the Football Federation accepted to host an emergency Copa America due to Argentina being asked to step down due to COVID rises and Colombia having political issues. But now moving into the Copa America, we have Brazil playing Venezuela in their first game, the opening game of the competition tomorrow on Sunday. Dasuki, Neymar, do you think he has what it takes to take them to the next to another Copa America championship since they are the defending championship?
Of course, we cannot, undermine the ability of Neymar. And Brazil going to any football game, they are always the favorite. That could be too much pressure. That could be a burden. But it seems like Neymar and the other Brazilian players, they love it. Over the years, Brazilian players, they love it. They love the pressure of being the favorite. Any football game they get into, they're always the favorite. Hopefully, we get to see a super classical Copa
America.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to their counterparts, we have Argentina, who also released their final list for the Copa America. And shock to people around the world is the fact that they left out three brilliant players: Ocampos from Sevilla, Foyt from Villarreal, and Paulo Dybala, and also Benundia from Norwich, who has signed for Aston Villa. First of all, I have two questions for you. Do you think it was right for the coach to drop Lucas Ocampos because of how immense and stellar he has been this season? And the second one is this the final time for Messi to clinch that international trophy?
Yes, Messi has, he needs his team to work around him. He needs his team to, work with him, understand him even more, because he's tried so much to get Argentina that trophy they've long wanted. And about leaving other players out, the coach might have seen, different players and the style he wants to play, and that would have influenced him to make the selection that he's made.
All right, then. Now, let me hear from you. Who do you think will win the Euro and who do you think will win the Copa America? Just your own personal prediction.
Copa America, first, I'll go with Brazil because they look like the favorite. And then with the Euros, it's really difficult. I would like to see the first round of matches first before I make my prediction. But however, France, if France don't win it, it's going to seem like an upset. So England are looking really strong. Portugal, Italy, with what I saw yesterday with the Italian side, they're looking very confident. So it's going to be really tough, but I'll go with France just to be in the safer side.
Okay, but there's been this talk all around about N'Golo Kante, who has won the Champions League, and that if France gets to do as best as possible, at least get through the knockout stages, would he be a strong contender for the Ballon d'Or? Do you think Kante can be a strong contender for the Ballon d'Or?
I think he already is. At the moment, I think he already is a strong contender in the Ballon d'Or, and with the kind of quality the French side has, they should make the last four. And when they get there, depending on what happens in Copa America as well, because Messi is also in the conversation. People are not really looking at that, but he is also in the conversation. But then looking at the chances that N'Golo Kante has winning the Champions League, winning man of the match back to back, and then France having a strong chance of winning the Euros, he is a top.
All right, then. Moving on to the UFC, we have Nigerian starlet stylebender Israel Adesanya, who is going to be having his face-off fight with Marvin Vettori later today, and is going to be defending his third successful middleweight title defense. We hope that he gets to win that. And moving into tennis, world number one Novak Djokovic defeated his counterpart Rafael Nadal yesterday in the Roland Garros French Open semi-final after a 4 hours, 11 minutes match against his arch rival. Well, he's going to be facing Stefano Tsitsipas in the final. Stefano Tsitsipas also beat Alexander Zverev in the semi-final, and that will be the final of the Roland Garros later today, with Djokovic going against Stefano Tsitsipas. If you're a tennis fan, let us know on our Instagram page, who do you think will win the French Open Roland Garros this year? Dasiki, thank you for coming on, and thank you for all your insights on the Euros and the Copa America. Hope to have you on.
Thanks for having me, Ayo.
All right, then. And that's all I have for you on the sports segment of The Weekend Show. Do follow us on our Instagram page at The Weekend Show _NG. We'll have more for you coming up next. See you next time. Bye-bye.